Hello everyone and welcome to this presentation on sociolinguistics. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Zainab and I'll present about sociolinguistics, which is the study of how language and society interact and influence each other. In this presentation, I will discuss various aspects of sociolinguistics such as language variation, and I hope you will find this topic interesting and relevant to your own lives as well. So, to start off, let me ask you a question. So, have you ever noticed how different people speak differently depending on who they are talking to, where they are, or what they are talking about? So, this is one of the phenomena that sociolinguists investigate in the field of sociolinguistics. And here's a brief intro of major variations that comes in this aspect. And these are code, dialect, sociolect, isogloss, registers, idiolect, diglossia, pidgin, and creole. And we will discuss them in our further slides. So the first, there comes the code. So code is a system of communication that people use to talk to each other. Codes can be verbal or non-verbal dialects, gestures, symbols, facial expressions, and body language. Codes can change and mix depending on who is talking. So its example is you might use sign language and spoken language at the time when you are talking to someone who is deaf and hearing, or when you are in a mixed group of deaf and hearing people. So in the another slide we will discuss about dialect. So dialect is a way of speaking a language that is different from the standard or official way. A dialect can have different words, sounds, grammar, or pronunciation than the standard language. For example, if you speak Urdu, you might have noticed that there are different ways of speaking Urdu depending on where you are from or where you live. For example, people from Karachi might speak Urdu differently from the people from Lahore or Islamabad. They might use different words, sounds, grammar, or pronunciation than the standard Urdu. This is an example of a dialect. A dialect can show your regional, social, or cultural identity. It can also affect how other people perceive you or communicate with you. And dialects are very common and natural in human languages, and they can be very interesting and diverse. Moving to the next slide, it's about sociolects. So, sociolects are ways of speaking a language that is influenced by the social group, class, or occupation of the speaker. Sociolects can have different words, sounds, or grammar than the standard or official language. For example, if you are a fan of a rap music, and you might speak in a hip hop sociolect, which is spoken by rap artists and fans involved in the hip hop culture. So that was quite an relatable example for the sociolects. So in other slide we will discuss about isogloss. Isogloss are lines on a map that show where a certain feature of language change. For example, in the United States, there is an isogloss that separates the area where people say you all from the areas where people say you all. This isogloss is used to show the difference in the second person plural pronoun. So, if you are from the north, you might say you all, while someone from the south might say you all. So, moving to the another slide, it's about registers. So, registers are specific ways of speaking a language. or conveying a language that are suitable for a certain purpose, situation, or audience. Registers can have different words, sounds, grammar, or style than the standard or official language. For example, if you are writing an essay for your teacher, you might use a formal register which is more polite, precise, and academic. But if you are texting to your friend, you might use an informal register which is more casual and slangy. So, moving to another slide, it's about idiolect. Idiolects are unique ways of speaking or writing that belong to one person. Idiolects are influenced by the personal experiences, preferences, and habits of the speaker or writer. For example, your idiolect might be different from your friend's idiolect, even if you speak the same language. You might use different words, sounds, or style than your friend. This is because your idiolect reflects your personality, your background, and your interests. So, in summary, idiolect is a unique way of speaking or writing that is specific to one person. So, moving to another slide, it's about diglossia. Diglossia is a term that means a situation where two varieties of a same language or two different languages are used by the same community of speakers. An example of diglossia is the case of Arabic, which has two main varieties: modern standard Arabic and colloquial Arabic. Modern Standard Arabic is the official language of many Arab countries and it is used in formal situations such as education, media, and religion. Modern Standard Arabic is based on the classical language of the Quran and it is written in the Arabic script. Colloquial Arabic is the everyday language of most Arab people and it is used in informal situations such as family, friends, and local culture as well. So, moving to another slide, it's about pidgin. And so, pidgins are simple and mixed languages created by people who do not share a common language. Pidgins are used for specific and limited purposes such as trade, work, or travel. Pidgins are not have the native languages of anyone and they have no official status or standard form. Pidgins are usually based on one or more dominant languages, but they also borrow words and features from other languages. Uh, its example is a pidgin is Chinook jargon, which is spoken in the Pacific Northwest of North America. Chinook jargon was based on Chinook, a Native American language, but it also borrowed words from English, French, and other Native American languages. Chinook jargon was used by traders, explorers, settlers, and missionaries to communicate with each other and with the local people. So, in summary, pidgins are simple and mixed languages created by people who do not share a common language and used for specific and limited purposes. So, there comes the another variation of language and it is Creole. So, Creole is a term that means a natural language that developed from a pidgin and became the first language of a community. A pidgin is simplified form of communication that emerges when people who do not share a common language need to interact with each other. A pidgin usually have a limited vocabulary and grammar and is not the native language of anyone. However, sometimes a pidgin can evolve into Creole, which is a full fledged language that has its own complex grammar and vocabulary and is the native language of a group of people as well. And its example is Haitian Creole, which is spoken in Haiti and by Haitian immigrants in other countries. Haitian Creole developed from a pidgin that was based on French and various African languages and was used by enslaved Africans and their French colonizers in the 17th and 18th centuries. But over time, the pidgin became the first language of the enslaved Africans and their descendants and acquired more features and words from French and other languages. So today, Haitian Creole is one of the official language of Haiti, along with French, and has about 2 million speakers worldwide. So, thank you for listening to my presentation on sociolinguistics, and I really hope that you learned something new and interesting about how languages and societies interact and influence each other. And I hope you also enjoyed the examples of different linguistic phenomena such as dialect, sociolect, isogloss, pidgin, and more. So, sociolinguistics is a fascinating and diverse field of study that can help us understand ourselves and others better. So, thank you again for your attention and participation. Thank you.